Thank you, Karen. Meanwhile, as we continue to get reactions to the passing of former Prime Minister and Sports Administrator Edward Seaga, we're now joined in studio by former General Manager of the Premier League Clubs Association, Andrew Price. Andrew, good evening and welcome to Primetime Sports.
Good evening, Spencer. Thanks for having me.
No problem. You would have had an expansive working relationship with Mr. Seaga, he being president of the PLCA and you being the general manager for a period of time. Talk to us about your working relationship with him.
Oh, it was a great working relationship. I learned a lot from Mr. Seaga. I learned the art of negotiation, the art of inclusiveness, because he's always thinking of all 12 clubs. And that's what he really wanted. He wanted all 12 clubs to be self-serving and could be sustainable. And that was what the PLCA was founded for sustainability of the league. We aren't where we should be yet, but it was a step in the right direction. 8 years ago, clubs were only getting $250,000 a year. Now they're getting $500,000 a month. So that's quantum leaps that we have made in the last 8 years. And that's all owed to Mr. Seaga, and we have to continue his legacy.
Suppose you were to take some of the ingredients from his leadership style as a sports administrator, what would some of those be?
He was very shrewd negotiator, and I believe that his art of negotiating was very good. There was always give and take, and he was willing to give and willing to take. But at the same time, he was always looking for the best for all 12 clubs that participated in the Premier League. And I think that will be his legacy.
Thank you very much, Andrew. Also joining us now on set is former Jamaica Olympic Association President, Mr. Mike Fennell. Mr. Fennell, good evening, sir, and welcome to Primetime Sports. Yeah. You served as GOA President for over 40 years, and I'm quite sure during this time you would have had a lot of interaction with Mr. Seaga. Take us back to some of those moments.
Well, first of all, allow me to express my condolence to his family. And in that, I would like to include the sports people in Tivoli Guards, because they were so dear to him. They were a part of his family. Great loss indeed. Yes, it has been a long journey with Mr. Seaga at several levels. I can recall as a young administrator when Mr. Seaga, I think he was Minister of Development and Welfare, was a person who initiated the employment of the Honourable Herbert Kinley, the late Herbert Kinley, after his active competitive days, to be the national coach for athletics.
Yes.
He established the ingredients of the SDC, that sports was such an important ingredient in community development, in social development and so on. And as an overall leader, there's no question at all that he accepted and acknowledged the role of sports in development and in the economy as well. Separate and apart from that, of course, we had his involvement in many, many areas, and there are many anecdotes that one could relate to. Time does not allow many, but the one that comes to mind, of course, was the 1984 Olympics in Los Angeles, where he attended, and of course it was in the period when Ronald Reagan was President of the United States, and they had quite a strong relationship. And I can recall his visit to Los Angeles was met with acclaim at the time because of the relationship and his attention to detail and his interest in the welfare of the athletes. Yes. On one evening, he took us all out to dinner, you know, and in a Chinese restaurant. He selected the menu and everything.
That was quite wonderful indeed. Well, Sir Fennell, we're out of time, but I'm quite sure as the days pass, we will talk a lot more about this long-standing and outstanding sports administrator. Thank you so much.
Thank you.